Patiently waiting. Are you scared? Are you nervous? It'll probably be shite. It'll probably be a non-event. You get something. Any Limp Bizkit fans in the house? No. Right. Are you nervous? It'll probably be shite. We have 37 of yous watching. I think that's the second most highest I've ever had on a live stream. Hopefully it's exciting stuff. Anyone that watched the video on Friday, the sort of preempt, that's still the same thought process. I would have hoped maybe something, even a picture or something half decent for today, but maybe we're going to get surprised. Anyone's expecting a surprise or just what we've always come to expect? We need more money. Here's the general meeting to discuss why we need the money and see what happens. I suppose there's a lot of people that want CalMax to vote in favour of this. We need CalMax to be supportive of this. And I want to clarify that people think I was saying that we were going to go bust. We've still got a good market cap. As you can see here, where's the market cap? 20 million. So, we're still, relatively speaking, compared to the AIM market, we've still got a good market cap. But guys, that's not going to take long to rinse that through. This share raise, I think, is going to give us maybe just like 3 million. So you shave that off, and that gets us what, 4-6 weeks down the road. It sounds like he's saying months away. So what, another raise? But the further we dilute, that market cap gets dragged down, the more dilution, before you know it, you're at 10 mil, and then you're looking at a couple of months worth of money to keep the lights on. And then you've got to look at it, who wants to buy these shares then? Who wants, even shares at a discount, who would want it if it's looking like it's going one place only? And if we can't do any more share raises without having to dilute, then we've no way of getting money unless someone's going to come in and put the money down. And that's the scary reality of it. We're losing all the faith we have, really. We're 3 minutes away from the start of this, so hopefully something positive. What was saying anyway? Goofy people speaking. Here we go. Pray hard for Prem. I'm praying. I think everybody's praying. A lot of people are either just accepting that their money's gone and they're leaving their chips in. I don't know of too many people that have been buying recently. I think the majority of people are just holding and just seeing what comes of it. A lot of the other social content people seem to have gone quite quiet, and I can understand why. A lot of abuse, I think some people have been getting unfairly, but look, we'll just gotta hang on and hope for a positive day here. What's that? Message retracted. Interesting. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I just hope this. Hold on, test my speaker. I can do this, can't I? How's that sounding? Alright, fuck. If you can hear that, then we should be able to hear the microphone fine when this goes through. Let us know. Yeah. Davey, hope is all I have left. I know. Hope, prayers, dream. What else? Hold on. All we need is diamond hands. Fuck. Need more than diamond hands on this one, but we'll hang on, guys. We'll hang on. Tom Hanks memes. There'll be a few Tom Hanks memes if Georgie can pull this out of the bag. That's for sure. Two minutes. %90 down, brutal. Horrible, man. Yep. That is. What can you say, Could be worse. You could be buying the dips, and I mean, if you had been buying the dip over the last year, you would be just losing money hand over fist. I have the memes at the ready here. Whatever way it goes. Did you hear that when I test my speaker thing? Did that work okay? Yeah? You could hear that? Because that's going to be key. I'll turn it up again. Lovely wee tune that. Right. CanMax will have a claimable debt of 23 million as of Tuesday. Any concern there? Well, that's a good point, but I don't think they can touch that for a while yet. You know, part of the agreement is 2025, so absolutely massive concern. But I think that the offtake agreement was till 20. I need to double check the dates on it, but I don't think he has any alternative funding methods at all. At all. I think the only alternative funding method will be himself. I think.
It's not, but
Right, we're 1 minute away here. Okay, you can hear that now. Right, it should be starting. Not great. Starting late already. Come on. Come on, Georgie. Let's make it a good one. Oh, we've broken a new record here. 50 watching, 50 live. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Hopefully it's worthwhile. Time will tell. We're a minute late, guys. Not great. Not great. I mean, this could get awkward for me if this just doesn't start. Come on, George. Push the button. We're in trouble if he can't turn on a webcam. Might not even be a webcam. Would it be just phone, maybe? Maybe. Either way, we're late. Come on. Come on. I should have prepared some jokes or something. This is a bit dry. We're running late here. Come on, Georgie. What have we got? No, every month of missed shipment, CanMax can claim a certain amount of what's owed. That's up to 23 million at the end of month. They can claim it in shares with they want shares. With floor. Well, they do shares. There's not enough. Our market cap's sitting at 20.45 at the time of speaking here. Like, they can claim it in shares. Oh, here we go. Oh. So I'm assuming you can still hear me here, I hope, anyway. Georgie's gone.
no.
Well, you can still hear me. That's the main thing. Georgie's panicking here, I think. Oh, some of the comments, guys. You are laughing. If you didn't laugh, you'd cry, I suppose. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, 3. Come on. Where are you? Where'd you go? Where did he go? The suspense is killing me here. Yeah, I don't know. Tesla's up. Let's have a look at the stocks. What have we got? Tesla, a nice 5.5% rebound. You take it. How is our Russell 2000 trade? I haven't even checked that today, you know. Hims and hers is up. Could be showing you this on TV, but sure. Right, George, what's happening? Honestly, like, this is shocking. Yo.
Ladies, gentlemen, lady and gentlemen.
There's two people there, lady and gentleman.
Just a welcome and just say thank you for being here. This is a general meeting of Prem African Minerals. Notice has been duly served, advertised, and so on. And just referring to my script to make sure that I'm doing everything that I should be doing. I am going to chair this meeting at the request of our chairman, who is not here in person. We do have a quorum, I note, and I note from my various documents that that is the case. And I'm going to declare that the meeting is formally constituted, and I believe we can proceed. Before we get into the business of the meeting, are there any specific questions that anybody would like to raise in relation to the two resolutions that are proposed? They are the only item on the agenda of the meeting. If there are any specific questions, I'm happy to deal with them. I just want to, I have a webinar here, and I just want to have a quick check and just make sure that I don't have any questions coming through on that. Moment.
What can we ask? Where's that?
I do not appear to have.
No one's
Does
asking.
anybody have any questions or comments related to the resolutions? Okay.
Chat disabled.
I'd like to proceed, and I'd like to propose the resolutions to the meeting.
Chat's disabled, like.
The full text has been set out in the notice meeting and has been available off our website as well. The resolutions being proposed are proposed as special resolutions and do require a majority to be passed. Resolution 1 is a special resolution to approve for a period commencing 24 months following the date of this, for a period of 24 months following the date of this general meeting, the disapplication of the preemption provisions set out in Regulation 1.5 of the company's Articles of Association in relation to the issue of or the grant of any right to subscribe for or convert any security into up to a further 2 billion ordinary shares, and to authorize the directors of the company to issue or grant any right to subscribe for or convert any security into shares in accordance with the provisions of this resolution, but so that the company may make offers and enter into agreements during a period which would or might require shares to be allotted or rights to subscribe for or convert other securities into shares to be granted after the period ends. Are there any further questions related to this specific resolution?
Can't chat. See that? It says chat disabled.
Basis, I would like to propose the adoption of this resolution.
Chat disabled.
I have an indication of those in favour.
There's two people there.
Thank you very much. And against? Thank you very much indeed. May I also note that as chairman, I hold 17 proxies totaling 76,715,346 votes in favour of this resolution, and 187,097,600 against. I have no instructions in regard to discretion, and I have no votes withheld. As a matter of interest, from a percentage perspective, let's just get to the right one here. The percentage in favour is, or let's put it this way, the percentage against is nominal. So it's overwhelmingly carried, and I'm very pleased about that. However, let me just come back. I do have letters of representation, computer share nominees. Let's have a look, see, hereby authorised Mark MacDonald to attend, speak and vote on behalf of Computer Share Company Limited at the Prem African Minerals Limited meeting on 29th Feb. Mark, hi. Are you comfortable with this? Anything that you want to add to it? Thank you very much indeed. In addition to that, I have a similar authorization here, authorizing Trevor Cilliers to attend. Sorry? Chillery, sorry. You know what has been put out here? Let's just have a look, see, that's quite interesting. I do apologize for that. Oh, hang on a second.
Shit show.
Pronounce again for me? Chiller, yeah, Chillers. Chillery. It's been misspelled.
Chivalry, more like, fuck's sake.
I apologize sincerely. Would you like to add anything? You're happy with that? Thank you very much indeed. Look, on that basis, Resolution 1 is adopted.
I think we know how this is going to go, like.
And I'd like to then move on to Resolution 2. Resolution 2 is a special resolution to approve the period commencing, or for a period of 4 months commencing following the date of this general meeting, the disapplication of the preemption provisions set out in Regulation 1.5, the Company's Articles of Association, in relation to the issue of the grant of any right to subscribe for or convert any security into up to a further 2 billion ordinary shares, and to authorize the directors of the company to issue or grant any right to subscribe for or convert any security into shares in accordance with the provisions of this resolution, but so the company may make offers and enter into agreements during the period which would or might require shares to be allotted or rights to subscribe for or convert other securities into shares to be granted after the period ends. Are there any particular questions related to this resolution?
Can't comment, so I'm sure nobody else can comment.
This resolution, as chairman, I hold 16 proxies, totaling 10,233,313,168 votes in favour of this resolution, 40,299,785 against, no votes withheld, no discretionary votes. In addition to that, I believe that these two resolutions from Computer Share
Bollocks!
as well. Gentlemen, anything that you'd like to add to this, Mr. Chillery? Are you sure that I got it right that time? Thank you very much indeed, sir.
Casual, man.
Ask for a show of hands.
Relaxed, man.
4.
You know,
Thank you very much indeed. Any
casual, man.
against?
Confident. That's what that
Thank
laughs
you very
about.
much indeed. On that basis, I declare resolution passed as an ordinary resolution of the company.
Share price is not
Ladies and
doing
gentlemen,
anything.
that brings us to the end of the formal business of this meeting. I'm happy to informally have any discussion that you'd like us to have.
Come
on. There are, in terms of others, linked to this webinar. I'm unfortunately not seeing any specific questions coming through, but in terms of others linked,
because you've turned it off, the chat.
Other participants who are linked to this. So, as I say, I'm very happy to have as frank a formal or frank and informal discussion as anybody would like to have. There may be things that I cannot specifically deal with. I will do the best that I can.
I can't believe
So can
like
I
the
open
chat's
this,
disabled. Like,
to the floor.
so fuck's sake, George,
I'm
man,
sure
come
you
on.
all have a lot of questions that you want to ask.
Is the plant running?
Oh, is the plant running? Someone said.
But
Well, the plant
every
is running.
component of the plant can run. So I'm going to break this thing down as best I can. Every component of the plant can run. The optimization of the plant
Can you walk? I've got two
get
legs.
to a continuous result that it was designed to achieve is an ongoing process. I said to somebody the other day that I can't, I'm so often asked how long, when, this, that, or the other thing in relation to a future event. And I've said on so many occasions that I can't predict this in terms of the future. What I've said historically in relation to components of the plant, anticipated running and so on, has been based on what OEMs have said to me. It's the information they have given me. Over a period of time recently,
hanging on.
I've spent, and I've had a lot of other people with me, spend a lot of time at the plant trying to make sure that we have as good an understanding of the process we have to go through. So, going back to the question as you've asked it, I'm going to go back and say, the components of the plant, each flotation cell, and there are 1, 2, 5, 7 plus the scrubber. There are 8 individual cells contained within this. Each one of them is a complex piece of equipment. It consists of an agitator, it consists of air that is being injected into
CMO,
it,
smoke and mirrors, shit.
reagents that are being injected and added to it. It consists of recirculating pumps. It consists of a flotation removal and an underflow removal and a recirculation, and there's a lot of complexity.
Aye,
in
David,
terms
your
of
comments
product
pretty much
movement
the exact same thing. Aye.
associated with it, apart from the fact that each one of these cells in itself has a lot of components and variables to it. Now, the pumps all work, the agitators all work. The material will flow over and float and go here and do what it's supposed to do. But there are so many individual variables associated with it that finding the correct optimization on a continuous basis is a process of time. Now, the time has been, and I think I've consistently tended to underestimate that time, largely, and I was not correct in doing this, but I've accepted what has been said to me and assurances have been given to me. I'm no longer accepting those. So all I can say is,
Foot's
again,
down.
every component works.
The
It's
foot
a
has
case
been
of
put down.
optimizing this thing and making each of these work correctly with the correct materials in, the correct densities, the correct reagents, the correct flow rates. All of this is where the work lies at the moment. So I don't know what the time is.
Confident, man.
It could
Confident.
be very short. It could be a little bit longer. The difficulty that I tend to have, that we as a company have at the moment, the principal difficulty that we sit with is that we must run the plant to be able to deal with these issues and get all these components performing exactly as they are supposed to understand all our flow rates correctly, to vary and change reagent dosing, pH levels, etc., etc. All of these things are taking time, and to get it correct requires continuous.
The share price is doing what I thought it would do. Like, it's just so beaten down. I don't know if it can go
We've
much
set
slower.
out
I don't know what to
before,
fucking do here.
What our cost
Why
of
even keep this
production
stock like?
of a ton of spodumene is. Our forecast remains pretty well where we have the figures that we have published. In fact, if anything, we've been doing a lot of work in refining, and we are comfortable that once we produce at the correct rate, that the cost of production is sufficient to give us a decent margin as this plant is at the moment. But these are things that are have been published. They've been in RNSs already. And that will give you a very good idea of what it costs to run this plant. So if you're going to produce 4,000 tons a month, and it's going to cost $750 a ton to produce, that works out at $3,000 a month. That's what it costs to run this plant. And that's what it costs to get this plant to a point where we have it commissioned and where we have it running properly. And this is a simple extrapolation from where we are. Sorry, James.
I think you meant $3 million, Mike.
Did I say 3,000?
Yeah, if it's 3,000, I think we're 3 years.
Sorry, 3 years. Add a couple of noughts. Getting confused. I beg your pardon. Yes, you're entirely right.
Jesus,
$750
boys.
times
Fuck
4,000 is
me.
3 million. I beg your pardon. Yeah,
I knew you knew what you meant, but
yeah.
This is
Joe Biden.
tragic, like. I don't know why he's laughing. Oh, because he's laughing away to the bank.
Yeah.
Jesus, tragic, man.
Anyway, I mean, you know, that's the situation that we have. So it's a very difficult environment.
What about CAMAX?
Get this plant properly
If only I could ask him questions.
and
Fucking
try
joke.
and fund us through this period that is ongoing. Now, don't know what that was. There's, I expect to provide significant updates in the very near future on this,
Helpful.
and it's going to be an ongoing discussion to actually deal with this scenario and to be able to get us to that point where we actually have proper production. That's about as best an answer as I can give you at the moment.
That's concerning, like.
All the components are against. It was the problem before. You see, provided I've got money to buy diesel and to keep powering the generators and keep driving the mining and so on. I mean, that's the point that I'm making. So this isn't a plant inability to operate. It's not a breakdown in a machine or something like that. That isn't where we are. We've got beyond that, and I think that after the mill went in, it was a very good example. Now, it's really only after the mill went in, and after we finally got a proper product flow coming through there, that we've been able to say, now we can get into the float plant and start dealing with all of this. Theoretically, we're a year behind where we should have been with this. And I'm deeply conscious of that and what it has cost. I think that the upside of it, because not everything is all downside, there's a lot of upside on this. And I can go through some of this. For example, along the way, we have a huge stockpile of undersized material.
Some of these comments,
This
like.
is material partly from the crushers where we have not been putting through the small fraction because of the presence of the ore sorters, and that is stockpile. Now that's all material that's mined. It is a potential asset that is sitting on the ground. It's got spodumene in it, and I don't know, there are a couple of 100,000 tons of that, I would say, at the moment. So there's a lot of that. That's the one. Then the other is that the plant was supposed to recover tantalum as it was originally set up. That was completely wrong on the part of the OEM. But additional work that we've recently done has included test work using DMS, dense media separation, on the small particle size. And the purpose of that was to see, could we get a good spodumene concentrate out of it, and could we upgrade the tensile?
One of the worst
and the
fucking general meetings I've ever heard in my life.
So much so that the intention on that circuit is to seek some kind of a cooperative venture with the supplier of the DMS equipment, such that we would do a shared revenue exercise with him, for example, to get that on site and not cost us. Linked to that is the ability then to recover tantalum. And tantalum is very valuable at the moment. The price of tantalum, if you have a look at it, is through the roof. I mean, this is, I can't remember. It's in the...
He can't remember anything. Fucking can't find his way home.
Kind of range. That's a lot of money for this. And we have a reasonable tantalum deposit at Zulu. In fact, it was the tantalum that originally took me to acquire this project way back in 2010, 2009, 2010. It was because of the tantalum, and it was acquired as an industrial minerals project. So the tantalum opportunity remains. In addition to that, a pegmatite has got a lot of other things other than just spodumene. And one of the biggest components is quartz. Now, the original work done by Anzaplan many years ago predicted that Zulu could provide very high purity quartz. Now, we've done test work in our own laboratories there, and we are commissioning some other outside test work on that as well. And that hopefully will confirm that what we've done in the laboratory is a 99.5% zero iron quartz. We need to get a little bit purer, and then
GP in the Hollywell.
Very valuable commodity. And one can do searches on this, and you can have a look at the pricing of this. But the moment you go very high purity, the 99.9s, no iron, it becomes a desirable and sought after product.
Right.
That's worth more film, isn't it? So that's the thought would then worth more than these problems.
Yeah, that's current pricing. Yeah, at current pricing, absolutely. No, absolutely. It's a very valuable commodity. That would require some additional, what we refer to as reverse flotation.
Oh, right. More work. I know. Ah, yes.
But it's very easy because we have material that's in a slurry that's had the spodumene taken out, the micas have been taken out. It's residual material that is going onto a tailings heap, and we take that and put it through.
Does anyone else feel like him not talking about CAMAX is concerning?
There are other industrial minerals of much lower value that may come out of this as well, which may require some...
Maybe a wee bit of vodka in that, alright, yeah.
That's the one
Whiskey.
thing. The next thing is that within our EPO, now the EPO, as I think we all know, has not been renewed at this time, but that is still under consideration. What we did is we registered claims, a number of claims within the EPO. And we have found within the claims...
Hollywell, for those who don't know, is like a psychiatric ward for people that are maybe struggling mentally.
Within these claims. In fact, one of these claims is being fairly extensively worked by an independent who is doing hand sorting, hand cobbing, and is delivering that ore to the plant. So it's within our claim, within our EPO areas, and that's both boosting grade but also lowering cost. So we are looking at that, and we understand that this is a significant further amount to be contained there. So the overall size of the pegmatite and the overall size of the resource, the potential size of it.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
So it's not all a case of just the Zulu plant. There's much more at Zulu than just this. And then it's worth noting as well, just off the topic ever so slightly, that in recent meetings that we've had in Zimbabwe, it finally does look as though we may resolve the RHA. Long ongoing situation. It looks as though we're going to get that done, and Brendan, who's at the back of the room, has been leading most of these meetings, and hopefully we're going to see some results out of it.
I have some buts.
Over to the floor.
You can't hear the question.
Matari is under investigation by one of the major Chinese mining companies, not Canmax. They are reviewing a term sheet that we have given them. I don't want to go into detail on the term sheet. I can't, because I don't know whether they like the terms or they don't like the terms. I don't know whether they're going to come back.
I don't think Canmax will walk away either, because they'll lose by walking away. They're a bit like us with shareholders. Just they might as well just see what happens. Like
and
they're so down.
term sheet that has been given to them to review.
More to gain if they hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't. If there's anything more definitive, I'd put it out in an RNS and I'll tell you. But there isn't. Yeah, look, I must say they're strategic, those claims. They are very close to the Sabi Star lithium operation.
Sure, price at the lows of the day.
Operation. And part of their pit almost borders on our claims. So if I were them, I'd be having a negotiation quite soon to see what they could do about this. Because they're going to hit a fence just now.
George, what would be your preference?
What?
Would your preference be if someone made an offer to sell it and then
Yes.
take capital to support other operations?
Yes, yes.
Would you prefer to joint venture it?
Oh no, I think my focus over the last year, 18 months has been on Zulu exclusively. And I don't want to get distracted.
Jesus, Lord forbid.
There's so much to come out of Zulu. There's so many opportunities to come. You know, I'm reminded sometimes of the early undertakings from Canmax when they first visited, when the chairman visited the project. And his statements that he made then, that once we got this initial component going, proved up the expanded resource, that they would want to come and build a lithium carbonate plant at Zulu. I know that's where this thing needs to go. And I know in my own heart, my own head says to me that that is what will happen. If it doesn't happen at Zulu, it's going to happen pretty close to Zulu. It's going to happen somewhere in southern Zimbabwe.
To my mind, that means that Canmax, it's in their interest to be very supportive and help this plant flourish.
Yep.
But he's not saying that though. He's not saying.
Back to RHA, tungsten prices, I've had a look at them.
Right up there.
They've gone up. So if Brendan and yourself were able to reach an agreement on that, do you think that's viable, profitable going forward?
Look,
Potential?
yes, I'm not sure that those who are still on the web will have heard the question. The question related to RHA and to tungsten prices. The last time I looked, the ammonium paratungstate price was around about $350, $360, something like that. Now, when we had a point where we stopped producing, or stopped trying to produce at RHA, that price had gone right down to about $150. So there's a significant improvement in price. I think that we also need to remember that RHA did produce a very good concentrate. That we had a takeoff in place. That takeoff probably still has validity. There was a takeoff in place, and we produced two grades there. We produced what we call a coarse grade, which was minus 6 mole fraction, if I remember correctly, and then a conventional fine as most people do, concentrate on wolframite. And that coarse grade was a very desirable product. People really wanted that. The quality of that, the low impurities in it and so on, made it a product of demand. So to go back to RHA, I think I'd love to go back there.
No. Absolute nonsense.
Just was checking to see if I can see any questions coming through.
It's about $300 odd. I can't get an accurate price, but I've got one from June there. So, yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll have to talk to Lorna about that. She set this thing up. I'm not smart enough to understand.
Looks like they want to ask you stuff.
Oh my goodness. Well, they're sending any questions through to you?
Professional finance. If you go first. That's the same thing. Yeah. Today's base rates.
That sent the shits right up. I'm like,
I haven't made a placing today.
Well, shares raising today based at the price.
Yes, if based.
Months.
No.
Well, how we. That's it. The dive last time, yeah. No one's looking at the positives here, yeah. The positives is Constance at $450 a share, Spot remains at $950, and Comp, CB is as good as it could be, is at $1,650 a share, which is the waste that comes out of Spot on it, which is in Bushire nearly £3,000 a tonne down for a share. That's why everyone wants to be negative about it. Yeah, that's why we said it, but.
oh, it's getting spicy.
When we sell it or not, it's a product. If you get to Tesco, you have a pint of milk on the side, you've got product there. Yes or no?
So where's the revenue for next month? Where's the revenue coming?
I've been very clear at the moment that until such time
Here for that one,
as this plant is fully optimized in producing product, it can't produce revenue, not to support that level.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go buy a pint of milk. They don't do revenue until it's not quite viable. That's it. What's different?
What's Tesco milk? What? Why are we talking about milking cows for? What is going on?
Guys, can I? Guys, can I just let me just come back. Let me just come back on where you were going with that.
This is fucking
I understand that. And
8% down, not surprised.
I
Fucking talking about milk and cows, Jesus.
to conclude various discussions that we are trying to have in the background with some other parties who have shown an interest in wanting to be involved in this
Oh,
and wanting to acquire part of Takeoff
oh,
and who are looking, there's no commitments, there's no nothing like that at all,
oh.
but who are looking and investigating possibility of buying into part of the future supply. Now that requires consent from CanMax. It requires a long discussion with them, but I think
That's
in
more
the
like it.
background it's important also to note that CanMax remain, and I think it's clear to me. I mean, I don't know who votes specifically, but I think it's clear to me if I look at the voting that I would suggest that they have probably been in support of the resolutions that we've passed today. Now, I think that's an extremely important statement.
But that would also tell me that you're not in dialogue with them. If you don't even know.
Sorry, it's message in the background here. They're concerned with the acquisition of spodumene. Now, that's what they want. I don't think they want to run a mine. but I think they want to make sure that they can get spodumene. Now, we're so far down the line with this at the moment. We have progressed this development to such an extent that in terms of risk normally associated with a mining entity, most of that risk has been dealt with. We're at a final stage, I can't tell you how long it's going to be, of bringing this plant to an optimized state. We know that the components can work. Getting it to work in an optimized fashion is, we believe, one of the last steps. That's how far down the line we are. We've exposed the ore body, we've mined, we know what's there. We have a lab at site. We have so much work that has been done and so much that has been invested at this stage that I believe personally that this project is going to be brought to production one way or another. And otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here, to be perfectly frank with you. This I am quite determined that's where it's going to go. Detailed presentations and proposals will be made to CanMax following this meeting in terms of how we go forward, and to others. But that, frankly, is where this specific project is at this stage.
The share price is 1.265 something, whatever.
Yes.
4 billion shares like that is 2.4 million.
I don't. The only. Let me.
Good question. Can't find
Martin, some of these shares will need to be used to settle it says in the resolutions, to settle this
Your bar tab
situation. That needs to be done. But that's not a case of placing out all those shares bang now and going collecting some money for it. That's not what's going to happen. That will be dealt with in an orderly manner over a period of time. I think Brendan is standing at the back. He's busy sorting out the various negotiations and agreements associated with that. That's not going to be just dumped on the market. So, I've also said that detailed presentations, recommendations will be made to CanMax and other parties, and we will simply have to see how we take that forward. You're entirely correct if you're concluding that 2 billion shares over and above the settlement is going to complete everything that we are trying to do. That conclusion is entirely correct based on the current share price. That's not going to do it. But that's not where I want to be.
Well,
I'm uncertain as to precisely which way it's going to go, and I'm being as candid as I can with you. But we will exploit every opportunity and every other avenue we can.
At least he's saying what we talked about on Friday. Can't keep going down this road, and they're looking at maybe bringing somebody in.
Tony, do you want to add anything?
I feel like that's the only option we have. So
you're going to keep out of this one.
That's a positive thing. I mean, it's clinching at straws.
Gents, anything else?
What do you think, guys?
Yes. Not necessarily CanMax. Not necessarily. I said there is a large Chinese entity that is in a negotiation on it.
Okay, so we talked about that on Friday as well. Oh, anybody can buy this, like.
I think let me try and well, let me try and put this in another way. CanMax are aware of Notari. They are aware of another company looking. And as a matter of principle, we would not conclude an agreement with that other company. And bear in mind that CanMax are shareholders and have a representative on our board as well. So CanMax will be fully aware and fully informed should a formal offer come on this property. And CanMax will have all the opportunities in the world to step in if they want to step in. Does that help?
Look at the share price there, though. Straight up, straight down. There's people, I don't know, that's quite positive, like. I think, desperate, clicking on, but
you know, and you said they're incredibly supportive and that demonstrates that line down functions. But you would have fighted for the father candidates and we said another opportunity. All very interesting and supportive. But one, some spodumene in Zulu is down the road to Qatar. Why wouldn't they come in with you and Zulu, right, and develop that opportunity?
yeah.
Why wouldn't they just sit back and fight?
Mutare requires a lot of exploration still. There's limited drilling at Mutare. We've done some, we've got it fairly well mapped out, we've done a lot of surface work. Mutare is a relatively early exploration project. It is not an advanced project like Prem. Prem was much more advanced than Mutare was at the time that CanMax got involved. Much more so. And I understand where they are. As I've just said to you, they are shareholders of ours. One of our directors is a representative. And I'm pretty sure that if they feel that they don't want it to go somewhere else, when and if and provided that there is a formal offer that comes from those looking at it, if they don't want it to go somewhere else, they're going to step in and take it at that point.
Yeah, so that's what you just said. They've got final share. Like if someone offers you 20 million, they say, don't sell it to their meeting in 20 million, but they're paying 20 million and selling it to them.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's the reality. That is the reality of it.
Yeah, it's one stop. They've got final share. Whether it goes to them or another.
Yeah, but that's a matter of us having, it's a matter of us having a moral responsibility as well. I wouldn't sell it somewhere else without going to CanMax first and saying, that's what's on the table. Are you comfortable?
To be fair, that is fair. Like, I think,
yeah, they will step in, they're welcome.
yeah. No, that would be reasonable.
I understand the process that's happening now at the plant, putting the thickener scrubber, so then the plant runs for maybe a day and then you stop and find out what you've got, or how do you manage to make adjustments and then do the testing? How does that all run?
Well, let me try and say this, that it takes probably 6 hours, possibly a little longer. If we adjust a density on the thickener, for that effect to flow all the way through the mica section, and all the way through the spodumene section, and all the way up to the final cleaner in the spodumene section, could take a period of 6 hours, possibly longer, for it to stabilize. And then only can one start assessing. Now we get pretty quick results from our
My
lab.
knees and back's getting sore from carrying all these bags of Prem.
With the amount of analysis, they can only do, I think they can do round about, I can't remember the numbers, Graham, you were there. I'm trying to remember 20, 30
This is a wee bit like Biden.
I think something like that. But you know, if you think about it, you'll take material in a slurry, it's got to be dried. Once it's completely dried, that material must then go through an acid digestion. all of this takes a period of time to get it dry, to get it sized, to get it mold correctly, then to put it through the acid digestion, then to take it and put it through, and do an atomic absorption analysis on this. It takes time, and there's a lot of this. So make an adjustment now, and then expect, if you want to get a full suite of results back, you'll be lucky if you get it in 12 hours. So it's a tedious and time-consuming process, and it's been underestimated.
So since the new stroke body must see the results, do you see improvements, gradual improvements in the
You see results that are better, and you may think that you're going to have an improvement, and it isn't. And you have some that goes forward and some that goes backwards. And all the way down the line, one is refining to a greater extent. So, yes, the plant manufacturer has said to us on a number of occasions that they are encouraged at where we're going, and they believe that there is a timeline and so on associated with it. I'm not prepared to commit any longer to a definitive timeline.
Ah, for fuck's sake, the Russell.
From time to time, you do get some material. Look, we've produced spodumene from this at more than 6% already. We've produced SC6 under specific circumstances. The circumstances were when there was a prolonged period without more new material coming in, and a long residence time within a cell. Various different circumstances have occurred where we've been able to produce very good spodumene, and where we've been able to produce at quantity. We can still push out concentrate in tons, large tonnage, but getting the purity and the grade into that on a consistently elevated basis is really the issue. So yes, there's a fair amount of other material there that'll be 4.5 or 5 or 3 or whatever it might be. There are varying grades that are coming out. There's a fair amount of it along the way, but the only time that you really see true tonnages and you'll see truly at grade is when this is all resolved, and when we can then allow this plant to just run continuously. At that point, yes. My target hasn't changed. The eventual target on this plant hasn't changed.
Right.
Along the way, there's been a lot of accomplishments, and particularly in regards to understanding the resource, understanding how much of this is spodumene and how much of it isn't. And that's a very important feature of this as well, that a lot of people tend to report an Li2O grade. And I'll talk about this as a percentage, but that doesn't mean it's all spodumene. If you've got a lot of petalite or lepidolite, or there are various other minerals that contain spodumene, if that's what you're sitting with in this, it doesn't mean to say that 1.5 or 1 or 2 or 0.5% or whatever it is something that you can recover. It could be anything. We know with a massive amount of work that's been done, what percentage we expect in that ore body to be spodumene.
Right. I don't know, guys. I think the buyout or partner is the only option, so I'm glad he's talking about that.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Look, the other thing that's quite interesting about the pit, and I think I've alluded to this in RNSs before, is that when we do our actual in-pit drilling, blast hole drilling, and channel sampling in pit. And we estimate the grades that we're getting in pit, it's around about 30 to 40% higher than the original resource model. So that's very encouraging. Yeah, that's. Guys, anything else?
Where's the after party?
I beg pardon? Now, what product is there that can be sold? Will be sold in country. We'll sell it on an ex-mine gate basis. And the party that wants it, there are a couple of parties that want it. But the principal party that wants it, and from whom we should get the best price, wants to take it in parcels of 1,000 tons at a time.
Okay.
Now,
Good.
there's probably the better part of 1,000 tons there at the moment. I haven't checked. But the initial 350 odd, we have the assays for that. We know exactly what's in that, but they wanted to make the parcel up to a bigger parcel. So that will go.
Right? Share price 5 minutes till closing bell.
It's not running continuously, as I said. Yeah, that's not running continuously. In terms of saleable, round about an average of 4% and possibly a bit bigger, it must be very close to 1,000 tons at the moment. There is other, there isn't, but there is other that is really not going to sell. Ladies and gentlemen, can I call it to an end, and can I thank everybody? And those who are online, I can thank as well. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
I'm sorry that this chat issue seems to somehow or another have been coming through to me. And I'm sorry I don't seem to have the skills to have been able to resolve it.
Guys, we're fucked if he can't even work out a Zoom button. Like,
deal with any
hold on. Green on the day. Green on the day.
Will be on standby as well. So to those of us here, thank you very much, and to all those online as well, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
It looks like Georgie's got it pumped here, guys. That's it. Well, over and out, George. I just summary of that was fucking a lot of smoke and mirrors, no closer to Zulu being anywhere near ready to go. We do have some dirt bags that could be sold. Looks like with people close to buying them, hopefully. Not that it's going to make much of a difference. He's acknowledged the fact that we will run out of cash. We cannot continue to do this. So it looks like we've got this money in, we've got it approved, and that money is now to get us to the end of getting an agreement reached. That's what it feels like. I think he's accepted, maybe he's heard the cries of we need somebody else, and he's woke up and seen that. So I guess in a roundabout way he's turned that into a reasonably positive, but it's all smoke and mirrors. I mean, there's nothing concrete. We're thinking about this. You could look at it, external bodies come in and go, this is a shit show, I don't want no part of this. So like it's high risk, high reward, but any good news about a joint venture or money coming in or funding or anything like that, the thing will pop. I'm surprised we were negative the entire time he spoke, and as soon as he pretty much was finishing it popped a bit. During that time, I went onto my iWeb account, and I was trying to, I didn't want to say it during it because I didn't want to, non-event, but I was trying to get an order through at 0.068 for about a fifth of my holding. And that was purely based on the fact that no concrete, same old shit. It looked like we were just going to go down the road. So I'm just going to see now if that has went through. In theory, it should have went through if we're at 0.7. But iWeb, as you know, as well documented, have shafted me before. And no, that hasn't went through. That hasn't went through. So I don't know. Again, Google's up and down, but now we're back into the red. Guys, it's high risk. What's your thoughts anyway? Let's see what some people are saying here. You watched till the end. Yeah, Dave, no problem. Dead on, George. Can't wait to get back into the bar. There's been a few people that are just seeing the funny side to it, and I think that's all we can do here. Look, guys, there's nothing really else to say. Thanks for tuning in. I'll do maybe a video on the recap, let it digest, but I think that's the summary of it, really. No further close to getting Zulu. He can't work how to work out Zoom. How's he going to do a technical plant in Zulu? That's a massive concern for me. I actually just don't understand that. Surely this guy's in doing web chats all the time. If he does, shocking. Not even commenting on that. He didn't know the price of the assets that we have, which is a concern. He needed to check different things. He didn't know was a couple of times, and the price of the monthly expenses he didn't even know off the top of his head. So yeah, the guy's unsure. It doesn't fill me with much confidence, but the positives are he acknowledges we can't continue on down this road. We're not going to have any cash left. The company is going to run into the ground, and we need somebody in as soon as possible. When do we get that? I don't know, but watch this space. If that gets announced, it's going to explode. Oh, the share price really will take off. I don't know now what to do. Should I cancel this order? It's 4:30 now anyway, so I don't need to make the decision now. I'll ponder. I'll put it into the Discord if I do sell or I'm going to sell. Just to let you know, it's sitting at 0.068 at a market order. It did hit 0.07, but it didn't go through. Yeah, what's your thoughts? In George we trust. Glad that he's kind of woke up and smelled the coffee. For me, a lot of smoke and mirrors, the usual story. So, look, guys, I'll go. But thanks very much for tuning in. At one stage, we were nearly at 100 live people. That was incredible. Thank you very much.